higher than my, like, I usually bring my fold-up bench, which I will tomorrow. See, there's a reason for everything. I can do half an hour, but I can't do 3 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
We need some A-stress space.
Sure.
Yes.
Rodney.
Yeah, the button in the back here.
Fescar Maga i bhula, cymryd a hasio. Fe fel yn ffal ti fod ar y fwlwg yn naach sio, agos gwydwch benach yn iawn i ha carcaint ar y lein. Especially Kanyach bach Kanich. My name is Kenneth Mackenzie, and I'm the Vice President of this campus of the college in the Gaelic College. I just want to warmly welcome you all to our new site here in Mhàbu, and also to those watching online. We're very pleased to have some folks in the building here. But without further ado, nach cwrdd fáilte fód in Mhàbu agus Sargail Ian McGraig. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome. We're very pleased to have our new Premier on site here, Ian Rankin. So without further ado, please welcome Premier Ian Rankin.
Thank you, Kenneth. Isma Aviun, Kimura Hashid. As Premier of Nova Scotia, and as a person whose family name is Rankin, I appreciate the importance of Gaelic language, culture, and identity in Nova Scotia, and particularly to the people of Mhàbu and this area. The Gaelic College has historically done an amazing job of keeping culture, music, language, crafts, customs, and traditions of our founding mothers and fathers alive and well here in New Scotland. The college's president, Rodney MacDonald, and its board have been excellent shepherds of this responsibility and deserve our thanks for their hard work and foresight. And that foresight has brought us here today. That's why it's my great pleasure to announce provincial support for a project that will help the Gaelic College grow and evolve. I'm pleased to say the province is investing $1.927 million to renovate the former So we'll be renovating this building, the former comment to create a satellite campus of the college here. And it will be called, as you probably know now, Mhàbu Hill College, or Beinn Mhàbu. And this brings back memories for myself personally, as I attended the Gaelic College myself with my sister and many of my cousins, obviously Kenneth being one of them, who just introduced me, which is nice. And I have a lot of memories of taking instruction in Gaelic language, beginner language, and also bagpipes, so I could recall learning from some of the best in the world, people like Bob Worrell and John Walsh, and so on down the line. And I know that people come to Cape Breton for that instruction from all over the world. So this new campus will help serve as an academic and community hub for the Gaelic community of Nova Scotia. I think also of my own ancestors and those that have done so much for the college and the Gaelic culture as a whole in Nova Scotia. Especially today, I am thinking of my late aunt Maureen, Kenneth's mother, who has done more than anybody for this college and for this culture in Cape Breton. Ooh. And I think of my late great aunt, Rita, who was at the convent here, of course, and I think she would be very proud today. I think a lot of our ancestors, many of you in this room, have ancestors that I think would be very proud today. This project will include a Gaelic medium school beginning at the primary level, an artist in residency program, and a Gaelic-based internet radio station with podcasts, traditional music, and student showcases. This is an exciting development, both culturally and economically for this region, creating employment and reinvigorating the vibrant Gaelic culture. During the non-academic year, Mhàbu Hill College will also offer up much-needed accommodations for students working in the area, as well as for groups and conferences. And as Rodney tells me, he's ready to get started on the renovation. Work will start shortly and is expected to take 6 to 7 months. I'm also told that Mhàbu Hill College will be fully open to students by September of 2022. But before that, it plans to offer short-term programming, accommodations, and rental opportunities immediately following the completion of renovations. And who knows, when things get a little bit quieter for me, maybe I'll come back and start to hone my skills in the Gaelic language. Just quickly, I want to recognize, I know there's a couple of my colleagues in the room. There's MLA Alan McMaster. Thank you so much for being here and supporting this great initiative of the local MLA. And also MLA Hugh McKay is here. I know he's a fellow bagpiper as well, so thank you for traveling up for this announcement. So, and of course, Rodney, who I've already spoke about, and I know his dedication to the college over many, many years. And so I appreciate that. And Rodney came to me over a year ago about this prospective project, and I'm glad to finally be able to deliver today on this. It's very important for the culture, for Cape Breton and Nova Scotia. So thank you so much. Tabalev.
Well, Mr. Premier, welcome back to Mhàbu. Welcome back to Mhàbu. Happy to have you. And we're happy that you're joined here today by your wife, Mary, and we congratulate you and on all your successes together and in your new role as Premier of Nova Scotia. And you brought very great news for us here today. I do want to acknowledge our distinguished guests that are here with us, all of you here today, our elected officials. I want to mention, of course, our board chair, Todd Higgins, who was here today, and our vice chair, Margie Beinn, and any other governors that might have been able to make it here today as well. They're volunteers and they do a great job in that role. I also want to mention as well President Dingwall from Cape Breton University here today as well. Their support on what we're doing here and over the years should not go unnoticed. So a special thanks to you, Mr. President, and as well to your staff at Cape Breton University for all you're doing for us. Felchoud of Gukobus and the Gaelic, I guess Felchoud of Gu Ben Dabo. And we tell the Chogabelish of the Helm, I guess it's a great day and a great announcement for Gukobus and the Gaelic and a great day for this community as well. Premier, you did something and you may not realize, and I think you'll grow to appreciate it the longer you're in your role, and I think something that all leaders in whatever area of government or business or whatever they might be, what they want to do. And it's not about the money today, although that helps, of course. But what today really is about, you gave hope to people. And I think that's the most important thing any premier and any leader can do, and we thank you for that. It's the same hope that the sisters gave when they came to this community over 100 years ago. And they gave that hope through spirituality, and I want to recognize Father Danny, who's with us here today and a great supporter of our site here. And they did that through hope, and they did that through education and culture. This building has a long history in this community, but not only in this community, in this island and in this province. Like the sisters, I had a lot of faith in the last couple of years that this investment would occur in this facility for education and culture for this community and for the Gaels of Nova Scotia. And I know there's many other partners that we're working with, and this is not hopefully the only announcement we'll see in the coming months. We have a very important partnership, of course, and a strong advocate in our behalf of our MP, Mike Kellaway, who I know is going to do his best to be here. Oh, he's here. Great. Welcome, Mike. He's here today. Thank you. He's been doing a lot of work behind the scenes on our behalf. We want to thank that. We also have our warden, Lord Cranton, and our councillor, Lynn Chisholm, who's here, and they're doing a lot of work on the municipal side for us as well. Thank you very much. every councillor, just to give you an idea, every single councillor from our county has come through the building here and spent a couple of hours here because of their interest in what's happening. We appreciate that. I was thinking back earlier today, about a few years ago, I was at the hall in Mhàbu at a Gaelic Council event. And people like Lewis McKinnon, Lottie, and Francis were there, of course, and great supporters of everything that's happening for Gaelic and through the Office of Gaelic Affairs, and I want to recognize that. But there was two individuals that day that I noticed that were there, and it stuck with me. And that is the Premier, before he was Premier. He made the trip down from Halifax to spend the day because of interest in Gaelic. And our MLA, Al McMaster. And I thought to myself, how lucky are we to have two great voices in the legislature of Nova Scotia standing up for Gaelic in our province. Thank you very much. So many students over the years have come to this community, and in fact thousands have. There is a history of people coming and boarding in this community, staying, and getting educated in this community. And I would run into many people within government. Even I had a communications officer once, and he said, yeah, I stayed in Mhàbu and I went to high school there in Mhàbu. In fact, this building hosted 90 girls and 30 sisters at one time living in this building and taking schooling here in our community. What has happened over the years is we're used to seeing students leaving our community in this region. With Beinn, we want to play a role in helping to change that. We want to keep people here from our local communities, and we want to welcome, and we will welcome, national students and international students to Cape Breton Island and here in our shores. So I'll give you a feel for what you're going to see here on site. From September till April, students will live in this building. There'll be about 35 students living in this building and taking courses. And those courses will fit our mandate of Gaelic culture, language, music, dance, and craft. Our initial focus will be on a foundation year program, a first year university program. That will be our initial focus. And that will be everything from a Celtic literature course to history and music and language and numerous others. And that's going to be the start, but there are a lot of other courses that will happen here. Traditional music and ethnomusicology, cultural organization and event management, Gaelic language courses, and more and more and more. That will occur through the Gaelic College, and they'll receive certification from the college, but they'll also receive recognition through Cape Breton University for many of those courses. And the staff, we're working with the staff at Cape Breton University about which ones will fit the criteria. And of course, I want to recognize there's an important element in this, and that was that Cape Breton University recognized that they wanted to have in their strategic plan areas around Cape Breton Island to showcase that they are a true Cape Breton Island-wide university. This fits that model extremely well. I want to acknowledge the President and Cape Breton University for being an important strategic partnership, and we have a long-standing memorandum of understanding with them. We will host, as the Premier mentioned, we will be hosting hosting us on site here, North America's first Gaelic medium school entering primary education. And that's with there's an outside group working on that. We will be the host of that. I want to acknowledge, of course, Kenneth McKenzie is one of those parents that's involved in that. There's many others involved in that as well, and they will have more details about that in the future. But that's an exciting thing for this location. So it's a true continuing education from very young to the very old. We will have an internet radio station online. You will hear our music, our traditional music being played. You will hear podcasts, Gaelic podcasts. You will hear students involved in that, and you will hear community engagement, reaching out to native speakers and others involved in that. Artist in residence programs, which was mentioned already. Spaces for community rentals and meetings. We'll have a storefront, a small craft shop with local product, a focus on that. And if you ever have the chance to visit our craft shop in St. Anne's, I encourage you to do so, and you'll see much of that local craft. From April till mid-May, we will host a lot of groups that have traditionally used the facility on various retreat weekends and such. So we will be hosts of that. That was very important to the sisters. And I want to say the sisters here that enabled us to take over this building were not only instrumental in this community, but they believed in us. And that was very important to them, that we make sure that we continue that long-lasting relationship with those groups. From mid-May until the end of August, as the Premier mentioned, we will provide seasonal accommodations to people that are working in the area. And I know this is a big issue for Inverness County and the region as a whole. There's hundreds of people coming in the area to work every summer. They need accommodations. We want to serve that purpose, help serve that purpose. I see Wade Beck and Perrine Cormier here, and I can tell you, undergoing something of this nature, the purchase of the building, and all the studies that go with it, environmental and others that we have done, and we have done many, many reports. All of it would not be possible if we didn't have the belief of the East Coast Credit Union to make sure that we got a mortgage to buy this place. And I can tell you, if you get the chance to say thank you to the East Coast Credit Union, and I encourage you to do so, those that are here, or if you're joining us online, please do so. Thank you, and please support them, because they supported us, and through that, they're supporting the community. So thank you. Another round of applause. Safe to say we're going to be paying off a few bills in the next few days or next week or so. I also want to mention the board of Scotia. You can imagine we have a site in St. Anne's with 90 acres, multiple buildings, and this is the business we're in. So this is not new for us. We're into accommodations, we're into meals, we're into students, we offer courses. This is a natural fit for us. But that said, back in 2018, when I first presented something, first of all, to our CFO, Jennifer Daisley was here, and Jennifer has been a rock in this regard for this project. And then to the board. They had to take a leap of faith on this project. And I want to acknowledge that and thank them for believing in this as well. Along with our staff, some of who have stayed here on site, and of course, the many staff that we have in St. Anne's. So, and I'm sure you'd agree with me that you couldn't find a better person to be the VP of Mhàbu than Kenneth McKenzie. He's a native speaker. He's a world-class piper and a world-class Cape Breton fiddler. And we appreciate that, but more than that, he's committed to the goals that we have here as an institution. And speaking of music, we should thank the music for great music. That's what I'm learning today. So, I'm just about done, because church is on at 4 o'clock and Father Daniel showed me. By the way, to the elected politicians, he's taking confessions upstairs in the chapel after this. So don't go too fast. So what are we going to do here? So what we're going to see, I mentioned 35 students living on the site. There's going to be extensive renovations to the accommodations. Most of the rooms are on the top floor. Most of the work will occur on the top floor. We want to make sure that when a student comes here and stays with us, or someone lives on our site, that they have a quality experience. And every room will have their own washroom facilities. And there's extensive work needed with respect to plumbing, electrical, carpentry, and such to upgrade the building to get it where it needs to be. We will see technology upgrades throughout the building. And that's of the utmost importance. In fact, you'll see about 20,000 person hours of labor put in to this project by the time it's all said and done. Classroom upgrades, furniture, a new roof, heat pumps, solar panels. We also want to do our part for the area of the environment and our carbon footprint as well. I want to acknowledge, and I'm acknowledging different people, our staff and others that are here, but I would be also remiss if I didn't acknowledge the work that I want to acknowledge Blackstone Construction, who is represented here by the owner and Dwayne Beinn. So we're going to have a lot of local people working on the project. Other local contractors and such. And as well, I want to note David Greenwell from M3D Design. That was a great help to us in our plans for the site as well. So thank you. Welcome. So I don't know how many more thank yous I can do. I think that's about it. But once again, to the Premier, to your Minister as well of Communities, Culture and Heritage. And I also want to acknowledge the previous Minister, Leo Levine, and Premier McNeil as well, and others behind the scenes on the bureaucratic side. People like Chris Shore and the Department of Communities, Culture and Heritage. And of course, Craig Beaton, who also comes from the Blackstone area before that, and a great help to us, and various deputies. This doesn't happen by accident, and there's a lot of hours of work. We've been working on this now since quite a long time, and COVID sort of took it for a left turn for a little while. No disrespect to the left turn. That's not what I mean. But the path is straight ahead, and we're looking forward to great things for Mhàbu. Thank you very much. I do want to welcome to the stage Todd Higgins, our chair, who's going to make a quick presentation to the Premier, and he's going to be reading a resolution as well that was actually passed before we even knew about this announcement, just a little over a week ago by the boards. Should have put this on right.
Thanks, Rodney. As Rodney said, Mr. Premier, this was passed March 4th, so before we knew anything about getting money. So, the Board of Governors for the Gaelic College wishes to extend congratulations to Premier Ian Rankin on becoming the 29th Premier of Nova Scotia. The Board and the Foundation are proud of his accomplishment in attaining this very prestigious position and wish he and his wife Mary, both alumni of the college, the very best as they represent our great province. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, Tapalai Vula, as you can see, the community is going to be a really big part of this facility in the years to come. So it's great to have our decent turnout here today under the circumstances, and we're looking forward to having the community in the years to come as much as we can. So Tapalai Vula, thanks very much, and President Rodney MacDonald and the Premier may be available to the press for questions afterwards. Great. Tapalai.